My name's Jesse Parithian, and today I'm going to be talking about nonverbal communication, specifically in business. Nonverbal communication is simply defined as communicating without the use of words. Written messages, although not spoken orally, are not an example of nonverbal communication because they do contain words. Nonverbal communication has two different types: metacommunication and kinesic messages. Metacommunication is when a nonverbal message accompanies a verbal message. And an example of this might be when your professor tells you to be sure to study for the test coming up. Now, he is definitely telling you you should study, but he may also be telling you, without actually expressing it in words, that your grades on the last test were lacking and that you really need to put more effort forth in studying for this test. That's a good example of metacommunication. Kinesic communication has to do with visual and vocal messages. This includes facial expressions, body language, and even pronunciation of words and your tone when you're speaking. A good example of visual kinesic messages would be someone's eyes getting really big and their eyebrows lifting up when they are nervous or when they're scared. Another good example would be somebody jumping back when they're startled, or even shrugging their shoulders to say that they don't know the answer. Now, verbal or vocal kinesic messages could include something like having a serious tone when you're trying to get the point across in a very important message. Another vocal kinesic message may be different pronunciation or being sarcastic. An example of this would be saying, "Oh, that's just great." You said it was great, but the tone of voice you used and how you pronounced it actually means that it's not great at all and that it's horrible. Now, nonverbal communication is very important in business. For a couple of examples, let's say you're in a business meeting and there's a proposed idea in the conference room and everybody's gathered around and nobody's saying if they like it or if they dislike it. This is a common occurrence. You can tell by the look on people's faces whether they like it or not. They don't even need to speak to communicate. Another example may be if you're giving a public presentation to a big audience. If you're trying to propose a new business opportunity or tell people about common problems or something, and you're up there shaking and your voice is trembling, it shows that you're not very confident in your message, and people aren't gonna believe what you're saying. They're not gonna think it's genuine. So, even though you say the right words in a business application, the nonverbal communication is just as important or more important than the words you've chosen.